Planning for School Improvement, Cycle for Success. This presentation was developed by Dr. Crystal House so that viewers can get an idea of the cycle she utilizes in order to improve policies and practices that will enhance teachers' performance and lead to increased student achievement. The school improvement cycle is comprised of the 4 P's of school improvement: position, principles, projection, and performance. 3 of the 4 P's, position, principles, and projection, lead to the goal of school improvement, which is performance. The school improvement cycle begins with position, which requires the establishment of principles in order to make projections for the school to improve its policies and practices in order to enhance teachers' and students' performance. Dr. House believes that school improvement is a cycle and not a process. This presentation will describe the phases that Dr. House uses for school improvement. Position. Knowing the current state of the school is vital to school improvement. Dr. House, along with the school's leadership team, examined their current position from various vantage points. In order to see change in a school, the school has to be willing and able to see itself for what it is. During this phase, the school holds a mirror up to itself. Not only do they highlight their successes, but they also highlight the opportunities they see for growth. This slide shows the pyramid of a school. Dr. House believes the underpinning of the school depends on school leadership. Without a supportive administration, schools will not have the foundation needed to be successful. The culture and climate of a school also depends on the school's leadership. Although every stakeholder contributes to the culture and climate of a school, it is the administration that determines the temperature of the school. Next, programs and curriculum can be implemented. Once the curriculum and programs are established, then teachers are able to function as practitioners and instruct students. Parent participation depends on all the other preceding factors. Lastly and ultimately, student achievement can occur if the pyramid of a school is solid. In evaluating the position of a school, Dr. House, along with the school's leadership team, evaluate all aspects of the pyramid of a school by collecting and evaluating 4 types of data: school demographics, student achievement, program, and perception data. Principles. Knowing what you believe as a school is essential to the school improvement cycle. Dr. House believes school leadership teams should unanimously decide their principles. These principles should guide how the school functions. Principles define the purpose of the school. This slide outlines some portions of Dr. House's philosophy of education and leadership. Dr. House believes that all students can learn. Although children learn in different ways and various rates, Dr. House asserts that all children are capable of achieving and growing. Thus, the main function of a school is to educate students. Dr. House believes everyone has the potential to be successful. However, success is intentional. Success doesn't just happen. People have to work toward being successful. Furthermore, Dr. House believes that success brings about more success. Thus, success is contagious. As a school leader, Dr. House feels that faculty and staff should cultivate the culture of a school. The student body should not dictate the culture of a school. Adults should lead children by being examples to children. She believes that children adapt to the behavior that is modeled by adults. Dr. House ascribes to the principle that all stakeholders should be engaged in the decision-making of a school. When making major policy decisions, Dr. House prefers to have all stakeholders represented in the making of the decisions. As a former corporate professional, Dr. House deems customer service a vital aspect of any business, including education. She believes students and their parents are the school's clients. She believes in being responsible for students and responsive to their parents. Dr. House expects for faculty and staff to deliver the best customer service as possible. This is a sample of the principles that drive how Dr. House operates as a school leader. Projection. Schools must have goals in order to improve. Dr. House collaborates with the school's leadership team to determine where they want to go based on their current position. First, they make an exhaustive list of their goals. Next, they prioritize what goals they will meet during the first phase of their school's improvement cycle. When making goals for school improvement, Dr. House writes SMART goals. SMART is an acronym for specific. Goals have to be definitive. They cannot be ambiguous. They should be precisely stated. Measurable. Since goals should be objective, they have to be measurable. School leaders have to have a basis for meeting the goal. Therefore, goals should be based on numerical facts and not relative terms. Attainable. When determining the basis of measurement for a goal, the goal should be within reach. Goals should not be far-fetched. Faculty and staff have to believe that they are capable of meeting or exceeding the goal. Realistic. Similarly, with goals being attainable, they have to be practical. Goals should be rational in that reaching the goal helps to improve student achievement. Furthermore, realistic goals challenge the status quo of a school. Thus, it is not realistic for a school to establish goals that are too low. Timely. When school leadership teams write goals, they should encompass the length of time it will take to reach the goal. Performance. Now that a school knows what it looks like, clarified what drives them, and determined where they want to go, it is time for everyone to perform. Performance is based on the policies that a school develops and the practices they employ. Dr. House has observed in some schools that practices are not aligned with policies. She feels that school administrators need to make sure that practices are in alignment with policies as well as conducive to the growth of students. As mentioned on the principal slide, Dr. House includes all stakeholders in the decision-making process for developing policies that are conducive to enhancing teachers' and students' performance. Practices are ways a school functions on a daily basis. Major components of practices are instruction, discipline, and procedures. Dr. House believes schools should examine their performance periodically throughout the year. Performance should not be an annual test. School leadership teams should also determine what the key performance indicators are for each area of performance they are measuring and trying to improve. This concludes Planning for School Improvement, Cycle for Success, which is an abridged explanation of how Dr. House leads school improvement.